Good mood. Some folks in East Nashville, not so much. New tonight, residents there, some of them, have been living without a solid roof over their heads for more than a month with no end in sight. You see those tarps covering the Porter East apartments after storms ripped off the third floor roof. Fox 17 News' Jackie Del Pilar live tonight, pressing the building's owners for answers about the holdup.
The building is owned by Urban Housing Solutions. It's a nonprofit that helps connect people with affordable, income-based housing. This particular unit is home to many people with hearing loss and other disabilities. They tell me right now there's just not much they can do to help. Exposed wires, missing ceiling tiles, and water spots on the carpet. These are the living conditions for people at Porter East Apartments for 5 weeks and counting.
It just feels like a war zone coming home every day.
Jenna Hancock is one of a handful of people still living here after a storm tore off most of the roof. Some residents are living in a hotel, but for people on the lower levels, these tarps are the only thing separating their building from the elements.
All I want is a roof over my head, and contractually they should be able to provide that for me.
Jenna says she's reached out to the owners multiple times asking for updates or a reduction in rent. She was ignored until today, after I contacted them too.
I expected to hear something, but I never did.
Urban Housing Solutions tells me repairs haven't started because their insurance claims haven't cleared yet.
And so we're frustrated. We've gotten our broker involved to basically escalate our claim, if possible, higher in the queue.
Is there anything that can be done for the residents who are still living there and having to endure the smell and the rain and everything else?
I mean, until we get a green light to do anything on the roof, no, unfortunately.
After our interview, Urban Housing's insurance broker contacted them, saying they should have their reports and payments ready by next week, meaning construction should start soon. Jenna hopes it does happen soon, so she and her neighbors can feel safe and protected in their own homes. Once those insurance claims do go through, the owners tell me it could take about 3 months until the repairs are complete. Reporting live, I'm Jackie Del Pilar with Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
In the path forward, the Small Business Association opened their Restaurant Revitalization Fund. Owners can start applying this month, but already it's clear that there is not going to be enough money in that fund to cover the immense need. Fox 17 News' Kathleen Jacob joins us after pressing our lawmakers about what they're going to do to support these businesses.
Unfortunately, we're hearing that it's not a question of if, but when this fund runs out. And that's a tough pill to swallow for some of these restaurant owners who have struggled for the past year and a half.
For more than a year, we've told you the stories of restaurant after restaurant struggling to make things work through the pandemic.
Now, when the pandemic hit, not only I couldn't open this one, but also had to shut down the other one.
We had to furlough 45 employees.
It's definitely tough, to not have work for people and to know, firsthand that they're struggling.
But finally, there's more relief. The Small Business Association opened their Restaurant Revitalization Fund, $28 billion to support this industry. But already, 266,000 applicants have requested around $65 billion. Now there's a grassroots effort to get our lawmakers to allot more money to that fund.
We are working on a story about the grassroots effort to get more funding in the Restaurant Revitalization Fund program. And I didn't know if that is something that Senator Blackburn is in support of.
I called Senator Marsha Blackburn and Senator Bill Hagerty to find out how they plan to make sure our Tennessee business owners are getting the help they need. Senator Blackburn didn't get back with us. Senator Hagerty didn't agree to an interview, but his spokesperson sent us this statement, which says in part, Senator Hagerty would have preferred to have pursued bipartisan negotiations through Senate committees with expertise over these programs, which is why he made 11 motions during floor debate to send the bill to the appropriate committees with a 3-day deadline for them to make improvements. He believes this would have targeted more money to the restaurant industry.
If you'd like more information about this fund and other funds that are out there where you can get some relief, we have a link on our website, fox17.com. In East Nashville, Kathleen Jacob, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
In the path forward tonight, as we completely reopen now and move past the mask wearing, some of us will want to take this leap more slowly, and that is understandable. Psychologists say they are dealing with something known as collective trauma. It's a heaviness or anxiety that makes the large majority of people reluctant to jump back out in a crowd of people or to leave your mask behind. Psychologist Charlie Gaffey with the COVID Grief Network tells me it's about giving our brains time to catch up with whatever normal looks like. And that can be different from person to person depending on how much the pandemic affected you directly.
How do you move past those things of feeling uncomfortable in a crowd or going out without your mask if you've been vaccinated?
For some people, the answer is let me dive in and that'll move quickly. For other people, that step would actually push them backwards. It would be too much and it would overwhelm. And so it's about being able to push past our comfort zone a little, like not just stay where we're really comfortable, because that's where that growth and that change happens, but not pushing so hard that we overwhelm our nervous systems.
Well, Jaffe says fixing collective trauma doesn't fit in a nice little box, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. She says give your friends, your coworkers, your neighbors permission to go slow and to get counseling help if you do need it. You'd be one of the first to know about dropping COVID-19 restrictions and more of today's top stories by signing up for the Fox 17 newsletter. To sign up, you can go to fox17.com, look on the right side of the page.